This is Captain Phillip with Airworthy Tours, your guide in the sky. Today's tour is of Memphis, Tennessee. Now, if you're a fan of blues and barbecue, then this tour is going to be for you. With that being said, let's get started. Memphis, Tennessee was founded on May 22, 1819. Due to its strategic location on the Mississippi River and its natural resources, Memphis became a hub for cotton and timber, and thus the American slave trade. Memphis quickly grew into one of the largest cities in the antebellum South. Below are a couple of steamboats. Steamboats played a vital role in the city's economy in the 1800s to early 1900s, as they allowed goods and people to easily access the turbulent Mississippi River. Memphis served as a Confederate military center early in the American Civil War, but it was captured by a Union gunboat force during the First Battle of Memphis on June 6, 1862, and remained occupied until the end of the war. During Union occupation, Memphis became a haven for freed slaves seeking freedom and protection from their former masters. Memphis' black population increased from 3,000 in 1860 to 20,000 in 1865. This led to heightened racial tensions, which turned into one of America's deadliest race riots in May of 1866. Ultimately, the national outrage of this tragic event led to the adoption of the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution on June 13, 1866. After the war and during Reconstruction, growth was slow for Memphis, as the city was hit by three devastating epidemics of yellow fever between 1867 to 1879, which killed 5,000 people and bankrupted the city. Memphis would eventually bounce back in the 1890s, due in large part to the surging cotton industry. Our first stop is the historic Cotton Road District. Even after emancipation, Memphis would become a global juggernaut in the cotton industry. During the 1880s and 1890s, between 400,000 to 700,000 cotton bales arrived yearly in Memphis. By 1900, the city was the world's leading inland cotton market and the largest producer of cottonseed oil. The building ahead is the Memphis Cotton Exchange. Once established in 1874, the Cotton Exchange produced rules and regulations on cotton trading and set standards for the buying and pricing of cotton in Memphis and the Mid-South. This economic surge created Front Street, which became the heart of the cotton trade and the center of the Memphis economy for 100 years. Front Street would gain the nickname of Cotton Row. However, by 1950, with the advent of new technology and lower demand, fewer people were needed in the cotton industry. By 1980, this once bustling section became a boarded-up ghost town. Our next stop is the Memphis Pyramid. The city of Memphis gets its name from the ancient Egyptian capital of the same name, which translates to place of good abode. Construction began in 1989, and the Memphis Pyramid opened on November 9, 1991. It stands at 321 feet or 89 meters tall with 32 stories. The pyramid's base is 591 feet or 180 meters wide, making it the 10th largest pyramid in the world. The pyramid served as the home of the University of Memphis Tigers basketball team from 1991 to 2004 and the Memphis Grizzlies from 2001 to 2004. However, the pyramid remained largely vacant from 2004 to 2011, after which Bass Pro Shops and the city of Memphis signed an agreement for a 55-year lease for a Bass Pro Shops megastore. Today, the Bass Pro Shop at the Pyramid is one of the most immersive retail experiences in the world. For one, it has a massive assortment of fishing, boating, hunting, and outdoor gear. In addition, the megastore includes a hotel with over 100 rooms, 600 gallons of water with over 1,800 fish, a cypress swamp with alligators and duck aviaries, archery and shooting ranges, and an observation deck at the top of the 32-story steel pyramid. Speaking of shopping, make sure to check out our gift shop at www.airworthyprints.com, where you can get stunning aerial posters for your home, office, or home office. Also, if you'd like to license some of the footage in this video and on our channel, make sure to contact us via email, which I will leave in the description box. Next up is FedEx Forum, the home of the NBA's Memphis Grizzlies, the city's only professional franchise, and the University of Memphis Tigers. The arena opened on September 6, 2004, with FedEx buying the naming rights for $90 million. FedEx Forum has a max seating capacity of 1,900 seats. The arena is affectionately known as the Grindhouse, due to the Grizzlies' historic rough and tough style of play. After the drafting of John Morant in 2019, the Grizzlies are in position to be a contending NBA team for years to come. FedEx is headquartered in Memphis and is the city's largest employer. It maintains a global air hub at Memphis International Airport, which is the busiest cargo airport in the world. Below is the National Civil Rights Museum. The museum is built around the former Lorraine Motel, which was the site of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. Dr. King was assassinated here on the second floor on April 4th, 1968 at 6:01 p.m. The motel officially became the National Civil Rights Museum in 1991. The museum features a number of exhibits that trace the history of the civil rights struggle, offering visitors a chance to walk through history and learn more about one of America's most important historical time periods. Now let's talk about some food. Our first stop is Gus' Famous Fried Chicken. Known for its spicy fried chicken, Gus got its start in 1973 in nearby Memphis, Tennessee. Its famous recipe came from Napoleon and Maggie Vanderbilt, but the popular Memphis location was opened in 1984 by their son Gus. Today, Gus has 30 locations in 14 states across the U.S. However, we all know that Memphis is a barbecue heavyweight. Below is Central Barbecue, one of Memphis' most popular barbecue spots. Memphis has the most barbecue restaurants per capita in the U.S. Memphis is known for its ribs and the distinct Memphis dry rub, which can be made up of 40 different spices. From there, the meat is cooked in a big pit for as long as possible, ranging from 4 to 8 hours, with the final result being a euphoria of flavor. Memphis is also the host of the World Championship Barbecue Cooking Contest, which is voted by USA Today as the most prestigious barbecue contest in the world. And of course, we cannot talk about Memphis without mentioning its legendary music scene. Memphis has been a pioneer for many musical genres, most notably blues, soul, rock and roll, and recently hip-hop. A couple of iconic musicians that are from or got their start in Memphis include Aretha Franklin, Al Green, Otis Redding, Johnny Cash, B.B. King, 3 6 Mafia, Justin Timberlake, and Young Dolph. But in regards to American pop culture, the most impactful Memphis musician is, of course, Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley is one of the highest selling musicians of all time, having sold more than 1 billion records worldwide. Ahead is Graceland. This 14-acre estate and mansion was owned by Elvis Presley. The mansion was built in 1939 but was purchased by a 22-year-old Elvis in 1957 for $100,000. Next is the Sun Studio, which opened in 1950 by rock and roll pioneer Sam Phillips. The first rock and roll single was recorded under this roof in 1951 with the song Rocket 88 by Jackie Brinston and his Thundercats. The song was also composed by Ike Turner, thus giving the Sun Studio the title of the birthplace of rock and roll. Elvis Presley also got his start at the Sun Studio and recorded 24 songs here between 1953 to 1955. Other artists to record at the Sun Studio included Howlin' Wolf, B.B. King, Johnny Cash, Carl Perkins, Roscoe Gordon, and more. Next is the Stax Museum of American Soul Music. The building was the former location of Stax Records. Founded in 1957 as Satellite Records, the label changed its name to Stax Records in 1961 and shared its operations with Volt Records. Stax was a pioneer in the creation of Southern Soul and Memphis Soul music. Famous artists to record under the Stax label included Otis Redding, Isaac Hayes, Rufus and Carla Thomas, the Staple Singers, Albert King, and the Bar-Kays. While Stax went into bankruptcy in 1975, the Stax Museum opened in 2003, and the Stax label was reactivated in 2006 after a purchase from Concord Records. And our last stop is Beale Street, one of the most iconic streets in America. The main portion of Beale Street has 3 blocks worth of nightclubs, restaurants, and shops in the heart of downtown Memphis, and is a melting pot of Delta blues, jazz, rock and roll, R&B, and gospel music. making it the hub of Memphis nightlife. If you enjoyed today's tour, you can tip your tour guide by hitting the like button. Also, make sure to check out some of our other tours of Tennessee in the Deep South over here. Thank you for flying with Airworthy Tours, and we look forward to seeing you on our next flight.